Welcome RPA Championes. Welcome. In today's video or in today's training, we are going to be creating another bot. So thank you for anybody that is going to be joining the live stream. Thank you so much for watching and for wanting to learn automation. So today we are going to be automating Twitter. So let me just show you a page that has been ran by robots for the past few months. This is a robot run page. It's called Process Lens. It has over 12,000 tweets made by robots by Power Automate Flow, and it has also 900 subscribers or followers and 2,000 following 2,000 people. So let's create a robot that is going to grow this account even further. We can do different things. We can create an account that is going to follow different people. We can create an account that is going to make different likes on different things. We can create a robot that can post different things to Twitter. So let's create a robot that looks genuine and that is working constantly on Twitter. So that will be the mission for the following minutes and for this stream. If anybody has any questions or any requests, make sure you write them in the comments or you leave comments later on down in the video, and I will get to those comments and give you guys an answer. All right, so let's open up our Power Automate flow and let's start with the new flow. Let's call this a Twitter bot. So this is going to be a Twitter bot, and we are gonna figure out now what we are gonna do with this Twitter bot. So let's start with a blank canvas. So let's see every single step all the way from the beginning, how we're gonna build this process. And in the previous videos, we have built some pretty cool processes on LinkedIn, Facebook, and on Instagram. So let's go to Twitter and let's see, maybe we can build a robot that is going to download all of their followers. So let's say we want to copy all of their followers. We would want a robot that gets a link of all of their followers and then maybe follows them back. So let's do this for the first part. All right, so let's go to this account and let's go to our Power Automate. So the first thing that we will do is we will launch a Google Chrome. Hopefully this web page is going to be a little bit more complex than the other ones and it's going to give us some challenges. So that it's not going to be just straightforward. All right, we are launching Google Chrome. After that, what do we need to do? We need to get the link to this profile and get the link to this profile. All right, so that is pretty simple. So let's record our web page and let's extract the link. So let's make sure that we select the correct link. So let's try selecting a parent element. Let's select the parent element. Not really working that well, but it doesn't matter. Let's try the simplest way and see if we can get it to work. So this is the account name. Let's see what we have here. And here we have the link to the account, I imagine. So it's right somewhere around here. Could be around here. So we want to extract the link. We don't want to extract the name. So let's change the resolution of my screen because this resolution is not good. So let's change the resolution. All right. Let's move over to here. If anybody has any questions, feel free to drop a question in the comments. So, all right, so this might be a little bit better. Let's reset this and let's start again. So let's open Chrome again. Let's run the web recorder and let's try this one more time. All right. So here we have, let's attach it to Chrome and let's record the different elements. All right, we're having some technical issues. Let's close a couple of things. All right, technical issues have been resolved. Let's close more things just to make sure that we don't have any more technical issues in the future. All right, let's delete all of these tabs that have been created. And now let's run the web recorder one more time. So let's run it on Chrome, and just make sure on advanced we are not running it on the correct tab. So we should be running it on the Twitter tab. So let's try this one more time. Let's make sure that we select the right browser. So this is the browser that I want to spy. And let's use the web recorder again. All right, let's select Chrome and let's record the actions again. We are having some more technical issues, so Power Automate is struggling right now. So let's give it one more try. If not, we'll have to restart it. All right, now it seems to be working. All right, let's try to extract the information. So let's try to see if we can find anywhere the link. So what we are looking for is the link of this profile. Well, we don't need the link. We can get the name exactly from here. All right, so we can take this name and we can also take the Twitter name as well. So let's select this as well. And like that, we have extracted pretty much everybody. So obviously we need to scroll down until infinity like we always have to. We can do this in different ways. All right, so let's see if our process is working so far. Let's clean it up a little bit from all of the unnecessary actions that were created. So we just have two actions right now, and one is to open Google Chrome and the other one is to launch Twitter. So let's try it and see if it works. Well, the first step has worked, at least something. Let's see if the other has worked. So the other step has worked as well. We have extracted 20 of the followers of this person, but there is way more followers that this person has. So let's scroll all the way down to the bottom of this page. So we can do this in different ways. We can click and scroll. However, here there is actually a lot of scrolling involved. So it might be the best way to use JavaScript on this. So let's see if we can find a JavaScript function. That can help us scroll automatically to the bottom of the page. Now I have used this already. Let's see if this is going to work on Twitter as well. So before extracting, we need to use some JavaScript and scroll down our web page. So let's do that right here. We're gonna paste the code that we found to scroll down, and we'll see if that works. That is the simplest solution. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time or anything. I'm just trying to do things pretty quick. So let's also add a wait, just a short wait of 2 seconds, or how about 5 seconds, and let's run this. So the process has executed, but it did not work. So let's figure out why it did not work and what we can do to make it work. So let's search for another JavaScript function. And let's see if we can find how we can scroll automatically. So let's see if we can use something else maybe. So let's go into here again, and let's see this function. Is this the same function as this one? Yes, it is. So this didn't work. Let's abandon this way and let's try something else. So let's go back to the Twitter page. Let's refresh it and let's try to simulate the robot. What the robot would do in this example. So if I just send some keys, I think that would be the second fastest way that I can do this. So let's just try to send some keys and see if that would work. So let's send some keys. The reason why I didn't choose the send keys because it is going to be a little bit messy, but if it works, it doesn't really matter. So let's click the down arrow, let's copy it a couple of times, and let's see if this is going to work. All right, so we're gonna launch Twitter, and we should start sending keystrokes immediately. So it's not working, probably because it did not work. So let's try to figure out why it did not work. Maybe I have to click inside of the page and then try to make it work. All right, let's try that again. So let's send a mouse click. Let's just try to send the mouse click, and let's try running this again. Let's add one more wait right here. So I believe we have sent a mouse click already. And all right, so we've sent a mouse click. We are waiting for 5 seconds, but nothing is happening with our process. All right, so we have to try a different approach. So this is not working. Sending the downward key is not working. Let's try something else. So let's try spying another element on the page. All right, so let's use the web recorder again, and let's try to spy a div that we can always click on, and that is going to be a reference point for us. So let's select the web recorder. And let's click on this, try clicking on these two main divs. All right, with these two main divs, maybe we can actually send a click and bring this into focus. All right, let's see why this is not working, and let's see if we can actually fix it. So this send keys is not working, the send mouse is not working. We don't need this anymore. So what we need right now is these two clicks, and then we need a way to, let's say that we click here, and then we need a way to go down. All right, so let's try to send keys again. Let's send some keys, and let's send some down keys. Let's see if this is going to work, if it's going to make the page go down. One of the biggest issues, and it's always different on every page, is all right, so this worked actually, is figuring out a way of loading all the data into view. But this worked, so right now we can actually we can continue building our process and finalize this. So let's add a little bit more down keys and see what happens. Let's add one more weight as well. So let's add a weight right here before we extract the information, and let's run the process again. So let's see what happens right here. So it should highlight in yellow where it's clicking currently, and then it should scroll quite a bit down. Let's see if we managed to pull out more followers from Twitter. All right, let's go back right here. So we managed to pull out 32 followers. Now I can add just a little bit more to this, and then we can just create a loop and see what that is going to get us. So we can create a loop right here. So we're going to start it at 0 and we're going to end it at 3, increment by 1. We're going to move these two things inside, and we're going to run our process again, and let's see how this goes. So the page has opened, it has selected what it should select, it has scrolled down quite a bit. Now it should repeat the same process. All right, now it should scroll down again, and by the time that it does all of these steps, we should have extracted way more information or way more followers from this person. So obviously, if a person has thousands and thousands of followers, we are gonna have to create a loop that is actually pretty long. Let's see how this goes, and how many followers were we able to get. So we're able to get 37 followers right now. So let's see why that is. Now let's try to do one more thing. And let's record this again. So let's get their username, and let's also get the name. Perfect. So let's finish this process, and just out of curiosity, we're gonna put this right here. And what we're trying to see if we can if there is an issue with the different selectors that have been created. So let's cancel, let's delete all of the steps that we don't need. And let's run the process again. So it should scroll, sending keys to the browser. So if I unclick from the browser, then it is not going to be able to view or it's not going to be able to send keys anymore. So I have to keep the mouse right here and wait for this to finish. So this is loop 2, I believe. There should be one more loop, and then it should be over. It is actually already over. Perfect. Let's see what we got here. So we got 37 users. We managed to extract 37 users, and all right, perfect. So let's delete this, and let's try this one more time. So let's use the web recorder, and let's go right here. What we're trying to do is just to make sure that this also extracts 37 users. All right, let's finish this. And both of these now should extract 37 users. Let's close this, and let's close this, and let's run the process one more time and see if we're going to be able to extract, if both of the elements that we are using to extract both of them are going to extract the same number of users. So if that is correct, that means that our selector is extracting the correct number of users so that we can trust our selector and we can move on to making it stronger. Has it finished yet? All right, so I guess that is the last step. 37 and 37. Great. Now if I increase this by any chance, let's do one last check. So if I increase it to 6, I believe that the number of users should increase as well. So let's just make it 4. Let's not make it 6. So let's test this and see if this is going to work as well. All right, it is going to Twitter. And now also, since this part is almost complete, we are successfully extracting all of the followers from this person's page. What is going to be the next step? Should we create a robot that is going to unfollow all of our followers and just lighten up our account a little bit, or something else? If anybody has a request, please leave it in the comments or in the chat. And thank you so much, everybody, for watching and for being a loyal RPA champion supporter. Awesome. All right, this has concluded, and we can see that we have 40 more users. So that's actually 3 users more. So that means that we have to do quite a lot of loops and to extract a lot of followers, but at least we've managed to do part of this flow. All right, let's do one more part very quickly. So let's create a subflow. So this subflow is going to be called extract followers. And we are gonna move everything inside of that subflow. So here we can delete everything and we can start from scratch. So let's go to our home page, and now let's maybe unfollow some followers. So let's see how we can do something like that. So we would go right here, I imagine, or where would we go? We would go to profile, following. So we would go right here and then click right there. All right, let's do this on the fly, and that is going to be pretty interesting as well. So let's launch a new Google Chrome. Let's add the link, let's maximize it, let's save it, and now let's web record this. So let's see if we can do this in a record amount of time. All right, so let's randomly click somewhere. Should we get the span, the div, since we don't have a button? All right, let's get the span, which is going to be the text pretty much. So let's click right there, and then let's click, do we have a button? Let's try clicking right here. Now let's try this again. So we clicked on the div, and then we clicked on this again. All right, I think that's pretty much everything that we need to do. Now we need to fine-tune our selectors. So let's delete this and let's delete this. Now let's just, for simplicity, rename our, so this is going to be a small unfollow, and this is going to be big unfollow. All right, so let's get this selector right here, and let's go to the small unfollow, add a new selector, paste this one. Oh, darn. And let's try to find the differences between the two. So let's see if we can find the differences between these two selectors. I think they are too long, so it's going to be pretty hard to find the difference. Let's try this one more time. Let's use the web recorder. Let's go right here and let's record a couple of actions. So let's do a random click, and then we're selecting this div right here. So let's click there and there, and then again there. Let's get one more example right there. All right, let's see what we're working with right now. All right, so let's get this one. And see what it looks like. All right, let's go to the small unfollow. So I believe this is what is changing. So let's make this into 0, and then right here it is 1. Fingers crossed. This is kind of a relatively strange attempt that I'm doing, but let's see if it works. It's a pretty long shot, so this is actually could work. Let's see if it's going to work. So all right, we can delete all of these actions. We don't need them anymore. So we're opening, and then we need to unfollow all of our people. So let's click on the small unfollow, and let's see first if it works. First of all. So let's refresh this page, and let's try the small unfollow. All right, that was pretty fast actually, but I think it selected a wrong profile. So which profile did it select? No, it selected the correct profile, so that pretty much worked. So let's create the other part. That was too quick though. Twitter might spot that we are a robot. So let's add a wait of 3 seconds, and then let's add another wait of 2 seconds. 3 seconds, it's okay. And right here, let's change this to the big unfollow. Let's see if that is going to work just out of the box. So let's run it one more time and see what happens. We're waiting, and let's see if we're clicking on unfollow. We are not clicking. Oh yeah, we did click on follow. All right, so let's do the final part of this. Let's unfollow 10 people. So let's add a loop, and inside of this loop is going to start at 0 and is going to end at 10, and it's going to increment by 1. So let's move all of our actions inside, and now let's also change the selector. So we need to create a variable. So let's set a new variable out here, and let's call it dynamic, or let's just call it new variable for simplicity, because this process is not going to, well, it's always good to name your variables correctly, but right now we're not going to do it just because. All right, new variable is going to be 0, and this new variable, we are going to use it in our selector. So if we go right here and we go here, we want to change this to our variable that we just created right here. All right, so we don't need these anymore. We just need this one. All right, so we can close this. And then we need to increment this variable. So let's increase this variable. Let's increase the variable that we've just created, new var, and let's increase it by 1. So now theoretically we should be able to unfollow more than one person. So let's see what happens. We've successfully unfollowed one person. We are successfully going to unfollow a second person. Let's see. All right, so this is also working. So we are successfully unfollowing our Twitter followers. So if you are looking for a quick way to unfollow Twitter followers, this could be a solution for you. Creating a Power Automate desktop flow that allows you to unfollow your Twitter followers while you are playing with your dog or you are eating ice cream could be the perfect solution. And we can now we can actually do it for 100 followers. So let's create a very smart way of doing it. So right here we did it for 10. But what we want to do it, we want to do it for more people. So what is this doing? This is going to go 10 times. So this is at 9 times and it's going to do it for the final time. We could either just refresh, close everything and restart the process, or we could increase this loop to something bigger. So we have unfollowed all of these people. So let's do this very quickly. So let's unfollow maybe 100 people. Let's just see if it's going to work if I make this 100, and let's see if we can unfollow 100 people from our follow list. So let's run the process again and see what happens. So it is successfully going to the to my followers page. It's clicking on the following and it's clicking on the unfollowing. So all right, our Twitter bot is successfully doing what it should be doing. There is probably it is going to fail because there's not 100 contacts on this page. So I could either make the page go down automatically, or I can refresh this page and put it inside of a loop. So every, for example, 10 or 20 cycles of the robot, we can refresh it and we can start doing this process of unfollowing and following again. So that is pretty much everything that we're gonna cover in today's video. If you have questions, please write them inside of the box. I will continue to watch this robot for a little bit longer while it unfollows my followers. So this can work in the background as well. So I can open my process and I can watch the process and it will work in the background as well. Now this is pretty great because I can also use my computer while this is continuing and this is going on. Let's see until which loop this has arrived, until loop number 11. All right, I think I will let this go. If you have any other requests or suggestions for future streams and for future videos, drop it down in the comments and reach out to me. Thank you so much for watching. Anywhere you are, in Brazil, in anywhere else in the world, in Germany or anywhere else. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.